All right, folks, in today's video, we're going to expose a little bit of manipulation, maybe a little bit of selling off taking place with the FTX bankruptcy that could be tied to actually the most recent price drop that we saw came in over the night here as we roll into a new week. And so a lot to cover here, but we get a signal coming from Citigroup. And as I titled this session, we have Citigroup shutting their doors for the municipal bond trading and basically doing mass layoffs, while we have Ripple growing, especially with their partnership with Medico. This is an exciting time to be in the XRP community as we see Ripple building, we see other developers building, new amendments and utility coming to the ledger. Very excited to see this. Now, we have another opportunity as we pull it back, but I wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about here with this FTX deal. I came across this tweet here from Marty Party. FTX bankruptcy crypto asset liquidation data is in. Beyond comprehension how this makes any sense, but here are the facts. They are dumping right now Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, APT, and XRP, and some others as well. But they just dumped a massive amount of Solana. And you're going to have to see, I'm going to show you guys on the charts, the timing of these sales. Pretty incredible. So they just dumped $325 million at $21. That was back in August 31st. You can see the chart down here. Then they dumped $1 billion at $68 and another $1.1 billion at $73 for Solana. So for those of you that have been, talking about Solana and the Solana pump and how great it is, well, the FTX bankruptcy just so happened to enjoy that pump with you. And now, whoever made this decision, right, they are offloading billions of dollars worth. Truly incredible. Will go down as one of the most idiotic financial exercises in history. Now you know where those sell walls came from. Gary Gensler, who did you protect? Hester Pierce, is it time to make this public, please? And I don't know the process, who's determining. I just hope that then, the investors, those that had their money on this platform, can get saved. But I'm not going to be holding my breath on that. Take a look at the chart here, though. So just recently, right, this was on the 17th. This was today. They sold off XRP. At what price did they sell off XRP at? 62 cents on the 17th. That was today. Then they sold it off at 65 cents on December 8th and 53 cents on August 31st. So big sell-off, dump. Big sell-off, dump. And then back here, they sold off here before XRP went all the way back down here to the 45 cent level once again. So whoever's trading this bag for them is doing a pretty dang good job. Here's your Solana, and the Solana pump has been rather spectacular, taking place over the last month or so. Here, let's take a look at this thing. So, at one point it was down to about 17, 18 bucks, all the way up here, 353% for Solana. And these are the pumps that is getting everybody excited. The next bull run is here, but you see that we still have a lot of cleaning up to do. Now, speaking of cleaning up, we're going to show you guys what we're talking about here with Citigroup announcing massive layoffs, and now they've sent a very, very interesting signal. That's why I threw in the title on the thumbnail, the Citigroup signal. And you can actually see the alarm bells ringing at all the other major banking financial institutions as well. And when you look at the data for the liquidity on the back end of our banking financial system, it's getting tight out there. And so now we have Citigroup telling basically all their employees, I believe, that they can work from home for the last 2 weeks of the year. And this has many folks speculating, are these folks even going to have a job come the new year? So take a listen in on this, folks. This is rather incredible.
Welcome back to Power Lunch. Turmoil continuing at Citigroup. Our Hugh Son just learning the company has told most employees to work from home for the final 2 weeks of the year. And while that might sound nice, it's worrying some. CNBC.com banking reporter Hugh Son joining us now on set.
Steve, it's great to be with you. Yeah, so this is sort of a holiday gift from Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser. She says, listen, everybody's tired of the year we had. You can take the last 2 weeks, December 18th to 29th. You can work from home. You can work remotely from anywhere in the country in which you work. Mm-hmm. Now, the context of that and where the reality kind of runs into the facts here is, she's got this Project Bora Bora, right? She's got this reorg project in which...
Can we stop? Bora Bora. Let's think of a worse name to call or a less ominous name to call a corporate restructuring?
Steve, you don't think the Tahitian sands and the azure waters of Bora Bora are a good?
I don't know. It just
for cutting thousands of jobs.
Exactly.
I know we've asked you before. What was the rationale for that name? Did we ever find out?
Some consultant in BCG knows the answer to that, Kelly. I do not.
Somebody got paid for that name.
Millions of dollars, Steve. Yeah.
So
sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Well, right. So the context of this 2 weeks that you can work remotely, it's a gift and it's perceived as a perk. However, there is the issue that, come January, you're not sure if you actually have a seat when you come back to the office. And that's the spasm of anxiety that's running through Citi's 240,000 workers. Most of them have this ability. Most of them can be hybrid. And yet now they have this perk.
So the idea is go ahead, work at home. There may not be a job for you when you come back is the concern.
That is certainly.
And it comes right when they're getting out of the muni business.
Yeah, and so that's the other leg of the story, which is, it's been reported and I've confirmed, Citigroup, Jane Fraser, as part of the Project Bora Bora, is examining line by line, business by business, all the businesses in which they don't earn a great enough return. Typically in banking, that's at least 10% return on tangible common equity. So, this muni business, which used to be a top 5, top 2 business on Wall Street, is more like a 7 or 8. It's a laggard, particularly because, as you know, in Texas, doesn't deal with them anymore. Texas, one of the biggest markets for muni bonds in the country. There was some controversy over guns, and we don't have to get into that. But they've been flagging. And so Jane Fraser decided, look, made a hard decision, even though there's a lot of puts and takes here, we're out of this business, which is municipal bond trading and issuance.
Is it the last business Citigroup might exit?
So, yeah.
I'm gonna cut it off there because you get the point, and I wanted to highlight Project Bora Bora restructuring, reorganization, but then it just got announced that they dropped their municipal bonds program, what they were offering there. So they're closing up shop on what used to be one of their top 5 businesses. And so you can, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you can buy treasury bonds directly from our treasury, right? You can buy a 1 month, a 3 month, 1 month, 3 month T-bills, or you can buy 10-year bonds, 20-year bonds, 30-year bonds. Well, in this case now, as he alluded to, Texas cut them out of their municipality bonds from Texas, and that was because of some of the Second Amendment issues that Citigroup was doing, kind of playing games. So that backfired on them. And then now you're seeing, as we've highlighted, these banks have over $600 billion of unrealized losses on their bonds. And that's anything from their treasury bonds all the way down to their municipality bonds. And so this is where, you have small local governments that issue bonds to build a bridge, to build a school, or whatever it may be. And Citigroup is now shutting down this business. And so while I look over here at like a company like Ripple, right? They just picked up Medico. They looked at another acquisition of Fortress Trust. They're picking over the carcass of FTX. And in fact, I actually think that there was some talks of them buying back that XRP from FTX. I don't know if they're going to end up doing that or not. But nonetheless, they've put themselves in a position where instead of laying off thousands of workers like Citigroup is doing and shutting down businesses, they're actually building out new pillars of that infrastructure with the acquisition of Medico for custody. And then you're seeing that their on-demand liquidity and everything else there is actually growing within not just Ripple's business, but in the XRPL ecosystem. It's a beautiful thing to see. Now, what I'm really looking forward to, folks, is this week coming up, we have our Ethereum whistleblower, Steven Narioff. He's going to be coming on the John Deaton Crypto Law podcast. And he told John Deaton that he can ask him whatever he wants. They're going to be talking about it all. And Steven Narioff was dropping some tweets today. And so he's calling out Laura Shin, and we call her Laura the Shill Shin. And this is from the original post here from Digital Asset Investor. He says, "Hey, Steven Narioff, I would love to sip a glass of wine this Friday evening while listening to your thoughts on this." And this is a podcast that Laura did with Vitalik, and where she mentioned the fact that Steven Narioff got these charges against him. And Vitalik kind of distances himself and says that, yeah, he didn't really have control, and Steven really wasn't a part of it, and this and that. And Steven responds, and he says, "Make it a fine wine after the talk, as I agreed to let John Dean ask me anything he wants. Meanwhile, Lubin, Vitalik, Clayton Hinman, and others may need a whole bottle of wine afterwards. Too bad it's only an hour, but it's a hell of a start and well overdue." folks, here we go. I know many people, I just saw someone in the comments here earlier today. They asked, have we forgot about this? No, absolutely not. It's just the mainstream doesn't want to talk about this. Mainstream crypto is so worried about a Bitcoin ETF. They're so worried about protecting the incumbents. It's like the incumbent banking system trying to protect themselves. That's the same thing that's taking place with the mainstream crypto program, Bitcoin and Ethereum being the two beneficiaries of the free pass. And so that's going to be very exciting to see Steven Arioff going on John Deaton's show this week. We will definitely be doing a follow-up on that. And Steven Arioff has not gone anywhere. In fact, he's still in the comments here on Twitter, just laying it down. And then now he's starting to make the rounds. Most people don't want to cover this story, but God bless John Deaton. And I'm excited to see John Deaton's the right guy to get Steven Arioff to open up and answer some of these questions that we've been dying to find out about. Now, speaking of growing, speaking of getting real deals done, we have a little statement here from the CEO of Medico, Adrian Treccani, and I have just been thoroughly impressed with the CEO of Medico and everything that they've been doing so far with the additional partnerships coming online after the Ripple acquisition. So the fact that Ripple acquired Medico did not stop the HSBC partnership, and the HSBC partnership was for tokenizing gold. Are we having ourselves a good time yet? I'm very excited, but something that he highlights here is the fact that you don't win the market because you have the best product. You win the market because the market thinks you have the best product. And I think that it has been incredibly important to recognize that although the developers are important to this technology, you still need to be able to market this. You need to be able to bring it to the average user to get adoption. You need to simplify this stuff. We can't get lost in the sauce on the technicalities and the different nuances of DLT when folks just want to be able to send a payment at, like sending an email. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Medico with the custody aspect of this business for Ripple is going to be absolutely massive. Here we go. So I'm going to play this clip here from CEO of Medico, Adrian Treccani.
And the best protection that you can have, and I have an engineering background, so it was very, very hard for me to understand this. You have to create a big marketing powerhouse. I'm an engineer. I always thought you win the market because you have a great product. That's absolutely incorrect. You win the market because the market thinks you have the best product, not because you have it. And how do you get the markets to think that you have the best product? Well, you flood the market with information. And it costs you money. So you have to have the people and you have to have the budget. And so one of the most important things that I didn't do, but I would do in my next venture the day it happens, is I would not raise funds to invest in a big engineering team and a big product team, on day one. I would raise to invest in a marketing and sales team and ensure that even before I have a product, the market already thinks I'm the market leader. And that's a very, very difficult thing to get to when you're an engineer and you're Swiss, because as you know, Americans are used to selling things they don't have. Well, sorry for the ones that don't do it this way, but that's true in many ways.
Yeah, I appreciate those comments because us Americans are used to gabbing our lips and we're ready to sell something. And I mean, guys like me, I have no shame in selling products that I believe in. And to his point, perception is reality. And what you're seeing, this isn't fake it till you make it talk. This is understanding how important marketing is. And for me, I think that in the crypto space in particular, we've seen too many developers. You got a group of developers that get together. They don't understand business. They don't understand the legal aspect, and they don't understand marketing. And they could build the best technology in the world, but unless you know how to sell that message, convey that message to the masses, you're not going to be effective. And I've just been thoroughly impressed with Medico. The more and more that I listen to these guys, it is so powerful what we're building out here. With the custody aspect here of Ripple's business. We're going to have the best liquidity in the world, and we're going to have institutional grade custody. Now, they're saying right here that the critical processes can't be compromised. The credibility of the underlying assets would be destroyed. Institutions will therefore opt for an established and competent partner in Ripple. Quote, you need to have credible processes, and banks are highly regulated, and they have very specific risk and control frameworks they need to implement and ensure that those are entered secure. Whatever gets tokenized, it's really about the integrity of the processes. Let's listen in here. This is Donegal of Medico.
Space. But it also extends into the tokenization space in the sense that tokens are based on smart contracts
and they have methods, and those methods are critical functions when you think about let's say the primary issuance side of a stable coin. Who can mint, who can burn, who can transfer. These are critical processes that, if someone compromises these, the credibility of the underlying assets is destroyed. I mean, just imagine, it'd be almost like printing dollars, that fiat money we see these days. It's printed at will. What's happening to the value of the dollar? So I think the point is here, you need to have credible processes, and banks are highly regulated, and they have very specific risk and control frameworks they need to implement and ensure that those are end-to-end secure, meaning you have cryptographic proof of the processes. So that's what we can deliver, and that's really where we view a very big opportunity going forward, is making whatever gets tokenized, it's really about the integrity of the processes. And that's something that we see clients experimenting right now with, helping them with the integrity of the issuance process, integrity of the minting process. Longer term, I think that.
So this is why I don't sit around here and complain. As I started out today's episode by sharing with you guys, we have them dumping the FTX bag through the bankruptcy filing. And so they're dumping the bag of XRP. XRP surprised maybe by that, maybe by something else. But for whatever reason, I'm not going to sit around here and complain that, oh, XRP's back down to 60 cents. What I'm looking at right here is the three things that you need. You need to be able to custody it, and you need to be able to tokenize it, real world assets, without systems that are going to be compromised. And then we want the best liquidity in the world. So when you have Ripple and Medico partnering up, you have both of that happening. And the other aspect of that is going to be the additional utilities coming to the XRPL. Once we get the AMM, once we get the cross-chain bridge XLS38D, once we get DID, digital identity, once we get clawbacks, then more issuers, as you were saying, can come to the XRPL. They can issue US dollars, they can issue USDC, they can issue stable coins, they can issue gold-backed coins, they can issue any commodity tokenized on the blockchain. Legitimate issuers can do that. And we got Medico for custody. They're helping Ripple tokenize it as well. That's the other aspect of Medico that's so critical. It's the custody, it's the tokenization, additional utility coming to the XRPL. And when we get the AMM, I believe that you're going to be able to source some of the best liquidity in the world through that XRP ledger. And I believe that some of these institutions and banks that Ripple is allowed to, take a look at what they're working with, have probably picked up just a couple XRP so that they can tap into that and get the full advantages as well. So with that being said, guys, we're going to continue to watch. This is going to be an exciting week ahead. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. If you appreciate the updates, please like this video and head on over to my website, ZachRector.com. We got a special right now. If you use discount code WEALTH, that is WEALTH, for the EliPal wallets, you will save 10%. We also just got a permanent price drop for Trezor. So speaking of custody, if you want to do some self-custody, we have EliPal, we have Trezor. It's at my website, ZachRector.com, along with our precious metals and our private investment community. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you in the next one. God bless.